The only thing I can come up with is life is short. So if you don't do it, you won't do it. If you don't ever say, I want it, you're never going to go for it. Some people want it and don't go for it. Some people are just dreamers. But I'm a dreamer that goes for it. I
A
execute.
dreamer and an implementer.
I go for it. I do it.
Greetings and welcome to the Elevated Flo Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Flo, aka the Black Rowing Queen. The Elevated Flo Podcast spotlights elite and everyday female athletes, mostly over 40, sharing how they elevate their game and their flow in sports, wellness, work, and life. These are powerful stories of strength, resilience, wisdom, and inspiration to help women stay active, age strong, and pass the torch to the next generation. Today's guest is very special. She is someone who truly embodies the spirit of staying active and following your dreams at every stage of life. She's a singer, social worker, and entrepreneur whose Yam-based cookies have customers from Las Vegas to California and beyond. She has recently started a new venture that we'll also touch on in today's episode. Please help me welcome Miss Narcisse Neely. Welcome to the Elevated Flo Podcast.
Hello.
I love it.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be here. All right, let me give you a formal introduction. So Narcisse Neely is a dynamic entrepreneur, singer, and social worker who has lived her life intentionally pursuing every dream she imagined and believed in. She has spent her life pursuing her passions, following her intuition, and inspiring others to do the same. She believes that life is meant to be lived boldly and creatively. Narcisse is the founder and owner of Yam Good Cookies, a Las Vegas-based business known for its delicious yam-based cookies that have gained fans not only locally, but across California and throughout the United States. Through her business, Narcisse blends creativity, culture, and comfort treats that bring joy to people everywhere. Beyond entrepreneurship, Narcisse has dedicated her career to helping others as a social worker and expressing herself through music as a singer. Her journey reflects resilience, creativity, and the courage to pursue multiple dreams throughout life. Narcisse lives a powerful philosophy: keep moving, keep dreaming, and never stop becoming. And if you ask her, she'll tell you she's still not finished yet. Miss Narcisse Neely.
Thank you. Thank you, Flo. Okay, thank you.
I'm so excited about this conversation.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited, a little nervous, but I guess we're just having a conversation, like you said.
We are just having a conversation, girl. Just like we're trying to figure out how long we've known each other. I came to Vegas. Do you remember what I came to Vegas for that year?
I do not to
I
see a
came to
performer.
Vegas with
I
Camille,
recall.
somebody that she was managing.
That's right.
Mhm.
I see that person occasionally online, zipping by, doing their thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay.
do.
I'll have
And
to
then
check that out.
that's right. And Camille stays out there as well. She's got it going.
Yes, I love her.
That's
So
nice.
we just connected, and you know what? That is just something like about you, your vibe, your energy is just so warm and welcoming and energetic and all those things. So we just, I don't know, we just stayed connected after all that time, and it's been over 10 years.
It has. It's gone by so fast, almost
Really
scarily.
fast.
Scarily. When you
Yeah.
look at your numbers, you're like, how did I get here? It just happened. Yes.
Yes. So with all that I said in your bio, if someone were to ask you, Narcisse, what do you do for a living? How would you answer that question?
First, I would say that I enjoy my life. That has to be first. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to do it. Not too long. I'll put my foot in, but I'll get out. I think that if you dream and if you continue to dream, you can have whatever you want. I've gotten so many of my dreams have come true. They have. And It's only because if I like it and I show it to someone else and they like it, I think it's a hit. Not always, but it seems that way so far. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what would you say that you do other than just living life and enjoying it?
I am an entrepreneur that has, first, I'll just share my story. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I went to suburban school. I was into music. I was a singer and I played bass clarinet and I played clarinet. I played cello in the orchestra. I sang. I was on that route to music. So I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And I loved it. That was all I knew I could do. But my mother was like, no, 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 math, science, that kind of thing. So I transitioned to the best thing I knew. And my mother was a single parent. We lost my father in a car accident when I was 5 and my brother
Mm.
was 2. So
Oh,
my
wow.
mother always, whenever she'd cook for the senior citizens that lived nearby and she'd take food over to them and we'd sit and have dinner with them if their families weren't nearby. So that grew inside of me. And I felt like when it came time to decide what I was supposed to do, it's like, well, I guess I'm supposed to be a social worker. So I
Mm.
got a master's degree in gerontological study. And with that, did medical social work in clinical and home care and in hospice in a matter of 5 years. And that let me know
Mm.
I can't do this the rest of my life. I'll do it
Right.
when I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older. And throughout life, I believe my first job was singing in a band at a nursing home.
Mm.
And that's what I did the rest of my life was sing and care for senior citizens. I am in LA right now caring for a senior that needs minimal help, but her caretaker do had another project. So she's like, "Hey, come help me." While I love to get away, so take a 4-hour trip, zoom in, zoom out for 3 days. Kind of nice. So
Okay.
I care for seniors. I live in a 55 plus in Las Vegas. So there's always somebody that needs something there, a ride, pick up my medications. Could you pick up my family from the airport? I just do what I can. It's satisfying. To say the least, it is satisfying because I'm doing what I want to do. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to take my Social Security early, so I have a little pad which enables me to do what I want to do. And that's the blessing is that I do have options now. I am
That's awesome.
it is. It is. It's a great feeling to be able to wake up in the morning and not have to go to a job, but wake up and go, okay, you got to bake cookies. Oh, you got to pick up somebody. Oh, you've got to do this. You got to. It's nice because it's not a regular thing. Everybody's not cut out for the 9 to 5, and I certainly was not cut out for the 9 to 5. I did it for 6, 7 years. Wasn't for me.
Okay, so we're going to explore a couple of things that you just said. One, we're going to come back to the 9 to 5 because I work with corporations and high achieving women that work in corporate America that are stressed out and all the things because of not having their wellness and focusing on their wellness and making it a priority. And the company's also not doing that. But something else, I did not know that you did like social work with seniors. And it makes me think about, like I was talking about, just your spirit and energy when my granny moved to Las Vegas on her own in her 80s, was like, I'm up out of here and just moved. That's a whole nother thing. Inspirational woman. Love her, miss her as well. But I remember when, you didn't come to that lunch that I had with my friends that lived in Vegas to let them know, like, my granny's here and I just wanted her to have a community and everything. But the one time when her kids called me, it was like, oh, we haven't talked to mama. Like, have you talked to her? And then I called you and I said, can you please go check on my granny? And you checked on my granny and you're like, oh, her phone was dead or her neighbor let you in her house or something like
That's
that.
it.
And that was just like something, I mean, that's just you, the things that you do for people. I'm in LA and just to be able to call you, it was such a blessing. And I know I've expressed how much I appreciated that, but it just speaks to the character and the care that you have for seniors and just people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
She was a sweetheart, by the way. She really was. She said that old phone was off and I didn't pay attention. You know how they do. They're like, if they're not paying attention to it, they don't realize it. So
right, right,
she
right.
was a sweetheart. I really enjoyed getting to know her. And I think I went to visit her a couple of times after that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep. So something else that I wanted to go back to is you were saying that your mom was a single parent and she wanted you to focus on math and not so much the performing arts, you know. So was there a time when you were younger that you ever played sports? And yes, I will ask that first.
She started me out. My mom started out getting us involved in everything. I did dance, I did ballet, tap, toe ballet. My big butt doing toe. Imagine that. Toe ballet, gymnastics, acrobatic, did it all. Grew up, got into pom poms, the whole nine. But once she realized this girl is serious about this, she had to kind of turn my head another way because she didn't believe I could make money or be successful doing those things. So
Mm-hmm.
in my brain, success is whether my heart is happy or not. I can do
Mm,
something and I can be successful at it. I know people who make lots and lots of money and they're unhappy. Well, guess what?
right.
I can make lots of money, make money, but I'm really happy. And that's all that's important to me is my because the older you get, the less you're going to be able to do. So if you keep hold on to your happy, good job. Got to hold on to your
Right.
happy. I mean, so many people do not. They
And
grow
so many people
old
are
and
searching for it.
right.
In
Absolutely.
things, in money. So that
Mhm.
that is really important note that you just made, or point, I should say, that you just made, is that success to you is happiness.
It is
Because
happiness.
everybody's success does look different. And I think what happens with a lot of people is they get caught up in what the internet, social media, society
Peers.
defines as success, and they're
Absolutely.
chasing that hamster wheel or running on the hamster wheel, chasing these dreams that aren't going to make them happy. And like you said, they might be making a lot of money, but they're still searching for happiness. So that's good that you were able to identify that that is what success is to you.
It is. That and health, of course.
That and health. So
Absolutely.
you said that you got really involved in the activities and performing and everything. Were there other people that were influential in your life that you looked at that you said, okay, your mother, said she looked the other way because she didn't think you could make money in it. But were there other people that made you feel like, okay, I can do this for a living, be happy doing it, but also make a living doing it?
I believe that let me think. Can I pinpoint any specific person? Not necessarily. I am a dream driven human. And I
Mm.
can remember watching Frankie Avalon movies and the Beach Boys out on the beach. And I'm in Missouri and it's snowing every year. I'm like, how can I get there? How can I do that? So honestly, when I thought about the things that I wanted, they were things that I dreamt of. Most people told me you shouldn't, you probably shouldn't, but that's because we were in the Midwest and people didn't do that here or
Mm-hmm.
there. So the minute I moved to the West Coast, my whole life changed. Doors open. So many things happen for me. I mean, so many things happen for me. I'm just a dreamer, and if you want it, you got to go for it. I have traveled to Japan and Hong Kong over 5 times to perform. Back
Mm.
in the late 80s, I worked for a celebrity for 11 years. I'm still able to work with that organization, still to this day, with the estate when needed. I don't know. It's just
What
I
kind of
just
what kind of work are you referring to now that you do with that estate?
with that estate, I assist with whatever they need. They call me
Okay.
sometimes when they're how do I put it? They're the estate often needs people that they can trust to do things. And this,
Okay.
I don't want to mention who the celebrity is because
I know.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
me, you already
Mhm.
know who it is.
Yeah.
It's it's very private and I want to keep it that way because it's allowed me to have employment for years and years and years. So I work for them as needed. Sometimes I work for them when my ex-boss's neighbor who is a senior citizen and her husband was a senior 10 or 12 years ago, they'd call me to come and assist them with
Okay.
different types of activities and whatnot to help them.
Mhm.
Because once they got up in age, they needed assistance. So if it's errands, if it's just staying with them while another spouse was doing another job in another city.
Right.
This is LA,
Okay.
so everybody's a celeb and everybody's got somewhere to go and somewhere to be.
Right.
I'm not the celeb, but I can be here for you. And now
Right.
that they're all over 70 and 80 years old and they call me, can you come? Can you help? And if my 90-year-old mother, who will be 90 in April, who wears platforms and high heels right now, if she says I can go, I go. And we talk every day. You met her,
I
you know
love
her.
it. Yes, I love your mother. And it's like, oh my goodness, that's why I'm saying the time that
Yes,
we've known each other because I didn't remember when she was turning 80. So I mean, it's
yes.
like she was in her 70s when I first met her, but
Mhm.
it's that is so crazy.
It has
That's so
gone like
crazy.
this, yeah. That's why you got to enjoy your life because we don't know when our expiration date is.
Mhm.
We have no idea. It could be tomorrow. But the key is while you're here, most people sit around and go, when I retire and when I do this and when I do that. I don't do that. I do it now because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I lost my dad at the age of 5.
Mhm.
So I think about things that maybe he didn't or did not get to do. I'm doing everything I want to do. And I pretty much have done most of those things at least once. And I want to do them again. Like I said, I'm not going.
What about I get that that's just a part of who you are, but what about even watching your mother maybe? Do you feel like you have followed in her footsteps? Did she have that? Was she the same or was she kind of like rigid or
Absolutely.
okay.
Yes and no, because yes, she was rigid because she had to be mom and dad. But
Mhm.
she was younger, she was really cool. She just got rigid as she got older. And that's what the world does to us. It beats us down. So we're
Yeah.
cautious and afraid and pensive about things. We don't want to be as relaxed, you know. But
Right.
my mother was my golden everything. She still is to this very day. We have an interesting relationship. But we are the best of friends. And I guess most mothers and daughters have that kind of a relationship. I don't know. Many.
A
I
lot.
think many do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't necessarily know how to accept us being adults. You know, we're their child. We're their child from day one until my mother
Right.
says she loves to say little girl. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's talking to me. I'm the little girl.
Are
The
you
little
serious? She still says that?
She calls me little girl. And I am 5 feet tall, so she's right. I'm a little
Right.
girl.
I was gonna say something about the height. And how tall is she? Like what, five
She's like
four,
5'3". She was maybe about
5'3"?
5'3".
Okay.
And I hope I'm 5 feet tall still. Who knows?
Wow. Was there ever a time in your life just with you pursuing your dreams and going after your passions and dreaming and goal setting and all that where you felt like, you know what, I need to kind of settle down and think about security and what it's going to be like? Because I have a friend that she used to do my hair when I was younger and she worked out of her home. She was really
Yes.
good, had business for years. And then when she got to her 50s, she was like, you know what? I don't have any retirement. I need to get a job. So was there ever a time in your life where
Well, as I said,
you
when I
felt
worked,
like you needed to pick security?
well, it was when I was 34, I was in Japan and I was performing and I was getting tired of going back and forth. I would do 3 months here, 6 months there, you know, in different cities in Japan. And I thought, okay, I'm late 30s. I need to get some medical insurance and that kind of thing. So, yes, in my mid 30s. And I want to say that in following your dream, just do it because I believe the universe will meet you wherever you are.
Mm,
Because went to a pimp agency and put in an application. And the first place they sent me was to an entertainer. And again, I still work for this entertainer to this day. So
wow.
the universe will meet you wherever you are. I can remember when I moved from Los Angeles to Vegas 10 years ago, I had all my labels on my computer. All my
Hmm.
labels were in Word on my computer. my computer died. And the very next day, I looked at my telephone and I realized I could get everything on my phone that was on my computer. I was like, there is a God for real, for real, for real. I already know it, but I know He is right here with me every step of the way because no matter what I do, He meets me where I need Him to meet.
Mm,
You know,
mm.
when I decided to just just to not do music, but to step out and do my own thing. I thought, I'm going to be 61 next year. Maybe I'm 62 next year. Maybe I could get my Social Security and make it and balance it all. That's exactly what happened. I got my Social Security. That's a little bit of a pad. I do a little Uber driving. That's a little bit of a pad. I've got the cookie company that's running itself because people call me and want cookies. I don't advertise at all. Just Facebook and Instagram, and I'll tell people about it. And after I'm 67, I'm going to take it a little more seriously because for the last 6 years, 5 years being on Social Security, I haven't had to work. So I'm relaxing now. And when I'm 67, I'm going to take 3 to 5 years to work very hard to build my company better and see how that works.
Wow.
Definitely. And it's just going well. My cookies are different. No one else has them. No one else can take it from me because it's mine. So
Right, right, right.
the
I love
idea,
that. You're talking about at 67, you're going to work for 6 or 7 years and build up your company. And at 67, most people are trying to slow down. Most people are trying to slow down. I love it. So you're talking about your cookies, Yam Good Cookies, and they are damn good or Yam Good. What made you, where did that idea come from? And what made you think, well, we already know just based on how you are that, oh, I
yeah,
could do this. And if somebody like it, somebody else gonna like it too. But
there it
where
is.
did that idea come from?
Well, again, I got the Lord sitting on my shoulder all the time.
Uh-huh.
I had already done everything I'd wanted to do. I'd gotten a
Mm,
master's degree. I worked in my field. I worked for a celebrity. I married an aerospace engineer who was established. We bought a beautiful home in Santa Monica. That lasted maybe 9 years. There was abuse in that relationship. And once there was abuse, I got on my knees and I said, Lord, I need something nobody else has ever done. And my hand to God, I had a sweet potato hanging over my head for a couple of weeks. And I'm just like, I'm not a sweet potato fan. I, they're okay. Not a fan of sweet potato. And I kept saying no, but you never ever tell God no. Don't tell God no, because He will prove you wrong every time. So I
mm.
started asking people, what do you do with sweet potatoes? I don't care for them that much, but I love me some Yam Good Cookies, though. Let me tell you, people were telling me what they did. So I came up with three great flavors: sweet potato, oats, white chocolate, and every cookie, one with pecan, one with ginger pecan, one with pineapple coconut, and one with blueberry. Let that sink in. And then
I
come with it.
know, and all of them are good. All of them are good.
There,
And when I first got my first order, I was trying to figure out which one, because you always say, you have to make a special vegan batch, but which ones do you like best? And I'm always like, just all of them, just all of them. I can't
I
pick
love it.
one. Like
I
at
love
first, I
it.
was thinking, okay, I like the ginger. I really like. Then I taste the coconut, a coconut one. What is it? Coconut pineapple. I'm like,
Pineapple
oh,
coconut.
that's good
Yes,
too.
and
But the
tropical.
blueberries was kind of the last time I saw you, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like for real?"
Yes, yes. And I absolutely love them. I'm getting my sorts of sweet potatoes as well because that's something that I don't typically eat is sweet potatoes.
Right,
And
right,
I love when little kids tell me, I don't like them. I don't like sweet potatoes. I'm like, you're going to like these. And if I can get them to try them, they're like, they're good. So
right.
high fives on that.
Yes. Now I want to go back to something else that you said because I'm only going to talk about what you bring up. So I know a little bit of the story, but I want to share this if you are willing. You said that there was abuse in your relationship, and the reason why I want to go back to that is because from what I remember of the story, you immediately it was like, "Oh no, it's not going to happen again." And bounced.
Not immediately.
Okay, so maybe you
I
told me
took
you
a
knew
minute.
someone else. Okay.
Well, what I did was I immediately started planning. Once that happened, And I got the idea. I started having yard sales and kind of letting my ex-husband know that I was just getting rid of things because we had too much, and he was a bit of a hoarder. So I was getting rid of things and just to make space in our life. And he went on a business trip and I packed it up and left. But it took me several months because I did not want to walk away from everything I had. Number one. Number two, I was in my 40s and this was both of our first marriages. So I really wanted to give my husband a chance. I'm a social worker. I help people. I wanted to
Mhm.
help him, but I could see that it wasn't going to help me to stay there. And had I stayed, it could have happened again. So when I asked God for something nobody else had, and that came into my head, I had a friend who was baking cookies and walking up and down La Brea, the beauty shops and selling her cookies. And so I was like, I need something too. And that's when the prayers got started and the idea came. I first let them taste the cookies. They were like, those are nasty. They don't taste good. You got to put something in them. And so started asking people, what do you do? And looking at recipes. And so I came up with that. And now I've got gluten free. I've got, of course, your favorite, the vegan. I think I did that for you, if I'm correct. You were my,
Maybe.
you're one of my three vegan friends. And I'm like, you, Robbie, Robbie, and a couple other people, vegan. So I had to make a vegan for you guys. I also do a lactation cookie for mothers who can't nurse. That's right.
Oh,
Vegan, gluten free, a lactation. I do a no sugar with monk fruit for diabetic.
okay.
And I also do cannabis where it's legal.
Right,
Yes,
right.
you're a
I didn't
fan.
get to try those, but
Not yet.
that is so awesome. Now tell me a little bit about this lactation one. What is that about?
Mothers who cannot nurse or they
Mhm.
don't have enough milk, I just use certain ingredients that help them produce more milk, help them lactate. So I put that
Really?
in the cookie. Yes. Do your research. Got to do a little research to find out what kinds of ingredients I can use to do that. But it worked. And I've got
Really? Now that right there is a whole nother lane.
it is. It is a whole nother lane. But I don't
Did
have
someone come to you about that? The reason that you created that one?
No, I noticed that people were starting to. I actually saw on Facebook somebody had a lactation cookie, and I thought lactation cookie.
Mm.
So I started doing research, and then I had a cousin in San Bernardino that called, and she was like, "You have to do this," because I saw somebody loading boxes of lactation cookies in their car. So again, I've got a year and a half to figure out how to navigate this because it's a lot. And 10 years ago, I was in 10 stores on the west side of LA. Vicente Foods in Brentwood, Conservatory of Coffee, Tea, and Cocoa in Culver City. I'm trying to remember, it's a decade ago. I was in Nutritional Warehouse, which has been there for 30 years on Lincoln Boulevard. Just several coffee shops and stores on the west side of LA.
Mhm.
Jackson Market. Been around since 1926. My cookies were in there.
Wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and research and go back into those environments again. But I want to wait until I have till I'm 67. Let's put it like that. And that's, when I'm 67, not 7. So when I'm 67,
Okay.
I'm gonna be ready to blast off again.
That is so awesome.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
so awesome. So, with that said, a lot of people feel like like I said, you're talking about 67,
Mm.
starting a fresh, new, scaling. A lot of people feel like they have to choose one path, and you've pursued several. And I used to feel that way. I used to say, why would God give me so many wants and desires and different things that didn't
Right.
seem like they connected? But somehow I was able to do them all.
You
So
sure?
what would you say to someone that feels like, oh, well, this is all I know? Or another thing, like you were talking about, society beats us up to the point where we're scared to do anything. And a
Mhm.
lot of that's intentional. COVID was an example of that. but that needs to kind of step out of the box and start even dreaming again. Because some people really don't even dream. What would you suggest to a woman that's in her 60s? And I mean, even younger, that just feels like I've heard 50-year-olds saying, like, well, this is it. Like, I don't have much time. It's like, you could live a whole nother 50 more years. Technically, you don't know. But yeah, what would you say to them to take a first step to start dreaming again and do something different than what they're used to doing?
The only thing I can come up with is life is short. So if you don't do it, you won't do it. You know what I mean? If you don't do it, you won't. If you don't ever say, I want it, you're never going to go for it. Some people want it and don't go for it. Some people are just dreamers. But I'm a dreamer that goes for it. I
A
execute.
dreamer and an implementer.
I go for it. I do it. If I see a possibility and if I show it to someone and they see possibility, if I just see possibility, I'm not real sure. But if someone else can see in it what I see, then I think go for it, pursue it. Most people are afraid. I've always been an innovator. I've always been somebody that goes for it, that wants it. Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting right exactly where you are. There will be nothing else. And
Right.
I need stimulation. I'm just that girl. I need things to happen for me to feel comfortable. If I don't have something in front of me that I'm going for, I get worried. I'm like, am I going to die soon? What's going on? Because everything seems to slow down. I don't want that. I don't want to slow down. I want to keep it pushed.
Right. I love that.
Right.
I was watching the documentary a couple of weekends ago. It was a bodybuilder that I really love and admire. He was talking about his relationship with his father and then his relationship between his mother and his father. And he was saying that his mother served his father. His father was a pastor, but he was abusive. And he was saying that his mother served his father for 50 years to the day she died. The father called him on the phone because she had fallen out in the kitchen. And he said he didn't really understand what his mother was saying. And so he just went over to the house, and the father's oatmeal was still cooking on the stove when he found his mother on the floor. The thing that made me think of what made me think about that is two things. One, that she stayed in this abusive relationship. I don't know if he was physically abusive to her, but definitely emotionally, and he was physically abusive to his children, so he probably was abusive to her. They didn't specify that in the documentary. But then the other thing is to think about how she went to her grave not realizing any of the dreams that she had for her life. And I know, or I believe, that even when women submit to their husband, whether they're a pastor or any role, I don't believe that that is God's only role or for their lives. Like, I know that she had some dreams in her, some passions, some desires that she did not pursue
Right.
because she was in this relationship. Hopefully, you sharing your story will inspire someone that might be in a situation where they feel stuck, have stopped dreaming, and feel like this is all God has for me. And
That
it's not true. Go ahead.
that can happen. That can happen. When I was in that marriage, I did not know how to get out. I just know that I'd done everything in my life I'd wanted to do already. And I had no idea where to go, what to do, where to turn. And that's where prayer comes in. You got to keep God first no matter what. You got to be active, busy. You got to walk. You got to exercise so that your blood keeps circulating through your body so your body knows you are still alive. Because I can say that that is the only time in my life I feel like I was depressed, just depression like no other. Like there was nothing else for me to do. There was nothing else I could do. There was nowhere I could go. I chose this person and he's mine now. I have to deal with it. Well, deep down, I'm not used to that. And I didn't marry until I was 45. So certainly life is not over. when I'm
Right.
approaching 50. However, midlife crisis is real. It's real. And you can get over it. That's what I want everybody to know is you can get through it, you can get over it. Just take care of self.
Right.
Pray,
Absolutely.
eat right, keep God first, and exercise. And you are my hero. You are my hero. You are. I talk about you all the time. You just do it. You do it all.
You know what? And you know what? It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of knowing or realizing that this is what's good for you. This is what is going to give you longevity. And so if I want to live long, I have to exercise. I have to eat right. I have to move my body, get outside, breathe, self care, all of these things. And as far as being a caregiver, that's something that, I say all the time about, when you're on an airplane and they talk about, if they lose cabin pressure to put your mask, if the mask falls down, put your mask
Put
on
yours on
first before you
first.
put someone else's on. So
You can
that's
have.
something I think I've talked about this on this podcast with other guests before, that strong Black woman narrative. And it's like, you know what? You got to take care of yourself first before you could take care of others. It's not selfish, it's necessary. So, what are some things that you do you have a self care routine? And then what do you do to stay active? And I know you said you're going to show off a little bit. And what do you call it? Your senior citizen superpower? Okay, so go ahead.
I got a senior citizen superpower, and it ain't no secret. No, I guess when that divorce was a life changing time. It was a life changing time for me. I was probably about 40 pounds heavier than I am now. And
Mm,
I believe for the first, I lost 12 pounds. Once I escaped the relationship, I was kind of hiding out and being to myself, but I lost 12 pounds and I was again down and out, depressed. And I looked in the mirror and I thought, wow, you might be depressed, but you look kind of good. So I kind of focused on, I wanted to focus on, I guess it put me in a mindset of if you're looking good and you're feeling bad, you got to make them meet. So I
mm,
decided at
mm,
that time in my life, you have to be active the rest of your life because if you're down and out and you're losing weight and it's not good weight you're losing, it's not going to be benefit you. But
mhm.
I just turned it around and I thought, okay. I'm afraid to get started, but I really do want to do that because it's only going to extend my life. It's only going to make my
Right.
body make me a better person. It's going to make me more physically fit. So that's my big goal for the future is to bodybuild, not pow bodybuild, but just a
Right.
ton. Because the older you get, the tissue gets fluffy. That's all
Right.
I can call it is fluffy. So, you
Right.
have
You
to
lose muscle. Yeah, muscle mass. Yeah.
do muscle mass. And you have to do weight bearing things in order to build that back up. So that's my focus now is not so much financially focusing on my finances, but focusing on my body. I went for a walk this morning. I think I walked maybe 2 miles this morning just
Mhm.
to keep it going. Just you gotta do it. Period.
Absolutely. As we at what I think it's at after 30, we lose. I used to know the statistics. I should
40.
know it by heart. After 30, we start losing 6% of muscle as women. And then after that, every 10 years, it rapidly increases. So that is one of the ways to stay young longer is to have more lean muscle. And, we don't have the testosterone in our bodies for us to look masculine. And, that people that
Right.
look that way more than likely are using performance enhancing supplements.
That's right. That's right.
But
Yeah.
naturally, we just don't have the testosterone. Now, there
Right.
are some people that have, more testosterone than others as far as women is concerned. But naturally, you lifting weights is not going to get you there because, I mean, I talk
That's
about that all the time with me, you know? So, yes, you didn't tell us what is your senior citizen superpower?
My senior citizen superpower is, well, when I was when that weight loss occurred, I remembered when I was a kid, I used to be very, very active. And I thought, I wonder if I could do a cartwheel. And I did it. So I do cartwheels every day, and I'll be 66 in July. And I'm going to keep
Awesome.
doing them every day. Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it.
Cookies and cartwheels.
Cookies and cartwheels. I love it. So, you know what? Now I'm going to ask you this next segment. I want to talk about when you are in your flow state. When you are in your flow state where you are maybe working hard, but the skills and the discipline that you have is just coming together, it's flowing together, and you feel just at peace and you feel like you're in your zone. When is that, and what does it feel like for you?
When I'm in my zone, everyone else around me is happy. When I'm in my zone, because when I'm on my own, I'm basically happy. When other people are happy with me being around me, when I see that I can make other people happy, that's good for me. When I meet
I love
somebody
that.
and they say what they like or what they want, and I can provide that for them. Like, people are always surprised when they say, "Oh, I can't have a cookie. I'm diabetic." I've got a no sugar cookie. Do you like monk fruit? You have a, and it's just great because I got another customer just like that, you know?
Right.
So, I think that I should be focused on myself, but I'm already who I am and I want other people to be happy. And I've always been like that. And my mom has always said to me, "Why are you always worried about everybody else?" I am. I'm always worried about other people. I
Mm,
want to help. I want to feed everybody. I want to take care of them. But I got to take care of me first, again, like you said,
right.
in order to be able to do that.
Right,
So
right, right.
I'm
So
a
what
true
is
social
it
worker.
that are you I say that all the time about me. Once a social worker, always a social worker. I'm going to always be a social worker.
That's right.
Are you still singing, and what other things are you doing creatively? I know you said you have a new venture. So first the singing and then tell us about your new venture.
Singing. I believe singing for me, music went out the window for me when I got married. I was performing every Friday and Saturday night in Long Beach at a Italian restaurant called Phil Trainees. I was there for almost 5 years. And once I got married, the fire went out of me for music.
Mm,
For me doing it. I still love music. But for me to perform, I thought, I'm almost 50 years old. Do I need to keep pursuing this, keep pursuing? Well, yeah, I can sing anytime I want. I could always put a band together. I could always perform. But once I started doing the cookies, it just replaced it because I was
mm,
able to still do that, do something to be able to give other people and make them happy. And, I'm a singing social worker. So I didn't
I
have to
love that.
sing. I didn't have to
Right,
sing. I could give them something. And
right.
people like the cookies as much as they like my singing. So I just kind of lost the fire. Once you get older, you're like,
Interesting.
it's not gonna happen like I want. I'm not gonna be a star. I can always be a musician, but I'm not gonna be a star. Yam Good Cookies are stars to me. I'm happy with that.
Mm,
I'm happy with
I
that
love
because
that.
people love them and I created it. So I'm satisfied with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to wind down to our last segment, which is passing the torch to the next generation. So I know you are caregiving, you are giving to the older population. What would you say to a younger woman that wants to pursue her dream and maybe doesn't have a role model? There's so much going on social media where people are. I remember my friend told me to set this statement that everything that glitters isn't gold. And
Yeah.
so, with all that's going on social media, the younger people are dealing with depression and dealing with self esteem issues and all of that a lot younger than they were years before. So, what would you say to a young girl that wants to pursue her dreams and maybe doesn't have a role model or somebody that has the integrity or is really pursuing their dreams in a way that they see is realistic?
I would tell them to follow their heart
Mm,
because the bottom line is nothing's going to be done right until you do it for yourself. And once you do it for yourself, it exudes to others. Your happiness is shown to others. I can't say anything but just follow your dreams. I have followed almost every dream that I've ever thought about doing, and it worked for me. It worked. It worked enough for me to be happy and satisfied and for people to know what I do. I'm doing, who knew? Strange but true. I take soap bottles and trick them out with crystals and just bling out soap bottles. and they're absolutely gorgeous. And people pay $30 and $35 for these bottles. So again, they like them. If you like them, I love them. You
Now,
just
where did
have
that come from?
I have no idea. I think it was an aside. In other words, while I'm doing cookies all day, when I want to turn around and do something different, I need something completely different. So I go out to my
Wow.
garage and start playing with crystals. So every time I come to LA, I go downtown and I buy more and more and more crystals. So you can
Tricking out soap bottles.
shaking out soap
And
bottles
you
and
just did you give it to someone, or you were like, oh, I'm selling this now? Or how did that
I
work?
gave one to my mother. My mother showed them to people. People love them. People want to buy them. I want one for my mom. I want one for my aunt. I need one for my niece for her birthday. I did one with a purple soap bottle, purple crystals with a Prince logo on the front for one of my besties for her birthday. She loves it.
Wow.
She wants one for her niece, and we're trying to figure out what to put on hers right now. So, just creatively following my heart has given me so much happiness. I realize that other people can't give you happiness. You have to find it
Mm-hmm.
within yourself. And my happiness
Absolutely.
is my music and whatever little thing I'm working on. I'm like a mad scientist when I find something that I love. Even cookies. My mom's like, oh my God, cookies. I'm like, yes, cookies. I got 4 mixers set up in the kitchen. I baked out of a commercial kitchen when I was here in LA, but since I've been in Vegas, I haven't decided to step out yet, as I said, and I will. But in the
Okay.
meantime, I'm just planting seeds and I've lots never bored, never without. I have cookie orders due that I need to give delivered tomorrow here in LA.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I stay busy and keep it pushing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I truly hope that this episode has inspired someone to reflect on dreams that they have and desires and passions that maybe have been on the shelf that they have not pursued because they felt like they were too old, or it's not realistic, or I can, or they haven't seen anybody else do it, or whatever. It's like, what is Gandhi say, be the hope that you want to see in other people. I think it is
Yeah.
something like
Mhm.
that. But it's
Mhm.
like, be the dream, be the aspiration that you want to see in the world. That's what it is. Be
That's
that
right.
and just pursue it. Like you said, follow your heart, follow your dreams, because you can manifest them if you truly believe.
You can do
I'm
anything you
right there
want to
with
do.
you. It's truly inspiring to me as well. If today's conversation reminded you that you still have dreams on your heart, I want to encourage you to go after them. I created a simple habit tracker to help you take small, doable steps towards your wellness goals, your next chapter, or the dream you've been putting off. You do not have to figure it all out today or do it alone. You just have to start. Grab your copy through the link in the description. Now let's get back to the episode. And with that, you can join us in the Patreon community after this. And I'm going to ask Narcisse a couple of questions about exactly some steps that she takes when she has other dreams that she wants to pursue, aside from just turning around and saying, I want to do something different. What kind of system you have in place that you have actually seen be successful in manifesting your dreams? So join us in the Patreon community. That'll be in the link as well. So before we close out, let everyone know where they can find you online.
You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, under Yam Good Cookies, under Facebook, Yam Good Cookies TO, as in also Yam Good Cookies 2 on Instagram. I believe there's a Twitter page and a website, www.yamgoodcookies.com. You can order on there, and if that website is not up and working, you can always text, Zelle, call. I'm baking and shipping, baking, shopping, shipping, baking, shopping. And I throw a cartwheel in every once in a while, but I go.
Awesome. Awesome. We will make sure to put the links to that, your website, and everything in the show notes description as well. Well, thank you so much, Miss Narcisse. Wasn't that fun?
Thank you for having me, Flo. I love this podcast and I'm happy
Thank
to be
you.
part of it. I just want to let everyone know to follow your dreams. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't, stay there, sit there, and I'll watch you. but I'm going to turn around and go do my thing afterwards.
Absolutely.
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 Thank
All right.
you.
So until next time, this is Coach Flo signing off. Remember to find your zone and elevate your flow. Peace.
1,